Bill Plaschke, the great columnist for the LA Times, Around the Horn contributor, and he joins us now. Bill, what will you miss most about Tom Brady?
I'll miss the fact that you hated him. He's the one athlete in American culture where I hated him for 10 or 15 years. And now I love him. I mean, I miss the fact that the conflicting emotions around this guy, or no athlete's ever been so reviled and then come through it and then been so loved. I mean, it's amazing the journey he's taken in our conscience.
What made you hate Brady?
He cheated. Well, let's don't forget this. He was arrogant. He was part of the Belichick arrogant era. People knew anybody. Come on, Dan. Anybody outside New England for years loathed Brady, and then he goes to Tampa Bay and he does it without Belichick, and he does it on his own, and he does it on his own terms, and now everybody loves him, and I think that's cool.
But do you think that cheater label? How big is that label? Is it in capital letters here?
I think it became over. He won 3 Super Bowls after that, so yeah. I think that became lowercase, but it's still part of his resume, right? I mean, I'm amazed that some of these stories about his retirement don't have that in there. I mean, that's part of his legacy, for Pete's sake. But again, he was able to overcome, and that's what I remember, is that he was able to overcome most of the country outside New England really not liking the guy, to everybody loving him and respecting him.
What was that feeling like when the Rams winning to advance, but putting maybe an end to Tom Brady's career?
I was there. It was amazing. It was amazing to me. I didn't think no way he's going to retire. He threw a 55-yard touchdown pass to Mike Evans. We're watching the game and this guy's unstoppable. He's going to come back and beat the Rams. He's still the greatest ever, and he walks away. So it was watching the game. I thought, this guy's got 5 more years left in him. I mean, he was every bit as good as he's ever been. The whole press box was hushed watching this guy work. We wouldn't think we were watching a guy on the verge of retirement. Absolutely. And that's the other cool thing, right? He walked away at the very, very top of his game. He's as good. He was as good when I saw him in that final game. He's as good as when I saw him in his first game.
What would have happened if the Rams had lost that game?
The same thing that's going to happen if they lose the Super Bowl, Dan. They're not done yet, buddy. It was interesting. You sounded surprised that the Bengals were the Rams were the visiting team in the Super Bowl. They're the visiting team every game. Every game. They don't yet have this town, but they're working on it. And it will be, if they lost that game, it'll be devastation. But it'll be similar devastation. They've got to beat the Bengals. They have to, in order to ensure their place and try to get on the pecking order with Lakers and Dodgers and USC football. They have to win this game. I mean, this game's set up for them. If they can't win in their home, yes, I was just talking with others about it. It's not going to be, well, they got this far, good for them, well-tried, Hale and Hardy guys. No, it'll be devastation. You blew it. You're going to get ripped because they've got it, because that's where they're at in this town. They have to win a Super Bowl, a championship, to really forge their place in this community's landscape.
If I said you could pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl or the Lakers to win another NBA title?
Oh, I think I'd pick the Rams because I like more teams and more fun and more variety. And I'm getting so sick of the Lakers. LeBron's knee. Oh my God, the Lakers are just, Anthony Davis makes me, oh my God. So yes, I think people would rather it'd be something different, something new. I mean, would they have a parade? Would anybody come? I'm sure there would be people at the parade. There'd be a lot of 49ers fans booing there.
What do you think the town's going to be like, though, next week?
It's going to be crazy because the Super Bowl is never about who's playing in the game anyway. I mean, Shaq rented out the Shriner Auditorium downtown. He's got this big party. I mean, it's going to be huge. It's going to be nuts. And no COVID restrictions or anything. I mean, even now, you go to like a Laker or a Clipper game, nobody's wearing masks. Nobody wears masks anywhere, at these big sports events. It's going to be crazy. The Rams are going to be the smallest part of it. Everybody's crazy just because it's a Super Bowl. It's LA. And really, it belongs here, Dan. It started here. I say to the Super Bowl, welcome home. It should be here. It should be here every year. It's a perfect spot for it.
As far as the trade for Matthew Stafford, can you give a final grade on that trade, or do you have to let this play out a little bit longer?
Jared Goff got him to a Super Bowl, Dan. He didn't win. Matthew Stafford, I'm telling you, I know it sounds like we're being tough on these guys, but they welcome that. They welcome that, the pressure. They've got to know Matthew Stafford. It's unwritten yet. If he blows it against the Bengals, they've got to beat the Bengals. The Chiefs might have been a little different. They've got to beat the Bengals, and Matthew Stafford has to have a good game. And then I think the whole thing on him is rewritten. But if not, then again, Jared Goff got him this far too. So I think the trade is still. I think you still have to hold your breath on that because again, Goff got him to the big game too.
Odell more likely to stay if they win or if they lose?
Well, that's it. I think if they lose, he's out of here. I think he's really happy. And I was wrong. I ripped him for signing Odell. I thought it was a huge mistake. I thought he'd be a prima donna. I thought he would demand the ball. I thought he'd lost this step. I was dead wrong on him, man. He's really been unbelievable. He's been the difference in the last. I don't think they get here without him. I know Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in football, but Odell clears it. You look at Cooper Kupp, nobody ever guards him. Isn't it amazing to you? You watch these games, nobody's ever covering Cooper Kupp. I don't understand that. Maybe I don't know enough about football, but I think Odell Beckham takes a lot of the attention away from him. He's been great here. I think if he wins, I think he stays because I think he does love the Hollywood life and he loves the spotlight. But he's been really good for this team, and I was really wrong about him.
It's interesting when you talk about Odell liking the city and everything that goes with it. Cooper Kupp doesn't feel like that's the city for his personality.
No, absolutely not. He's so straight and narrow and so, understated. He's like some mountain man. It's weird. He looks Amish. And he seems very reticent. I mean, he's
a reluctant star. He
absolutely is. And that's what makes him so great. But still, how come nobody guards him? How come nobody's ever covered him? How come he's always open? I just don't care for it. But yes, he's after the game, you see Cooper Kupp to be so excited. He's done such great things. You say, Cooper, how did that great, 88, 7-yard touchdown pass feel? It felt okay. It was good. It was a great quarterback. Well, he's really boring.
But it goes back to, and I don't like making a white wide receiver reference to Cooper Kupp, but Steve Largent was such a precise route runner. And you would watch and you go, how is that guy open all the time? And I think route running is probably maybe a lost art because we just feel like it's just you get out there and you just go. You're athletic. 5 wide, let's go. And Cooper Kupp you provide good athleticism and route running, great hands, size. That's an interesting combination.
Sean McVay says a lot of things that I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. I don't understand half of what he says, but he does say that Cooper Kupp works the edge. He says exactly what you said, that he runs exactly precise routes. It's geometry. It's why he's open. It's that he works the edges, he works the angles, he walks the fine line. He does it exactly the perfect way, and that's exactly what Sean McVay explains it. I still don't understand it. Double team him, triple team him. Why is he even getting? Why is he not on the ground every time? It's just amazing to me.
You like Sean McVay?
Oh, I love him. Yeah, he's so energetic and he's so willing, whether it's real or not, to fall on his sword. You say, Sean, that was a terrible call. Yeah, I know it's a terrible call. It's my fault. I lost the game. Every game he says, I lost the game. Who else admits moments after the Super Bowl that he got out-coached? Everyone knew Belichick out-coached him, and he admitted it.
Yeah.
And he said he was numb. Yeah, I love the guy. His energy is great for the town, but he's got to win too. He's this boy genius, but he's had game management difficulties, some play calling questionable things, had the tough breakup with Goff. He's like Stafford. He's got to win in 2 weeks too.
Did he fall on his sword with the Jared Goff situation? Because I don't know if I heard him.
No, not entirely. We kind of polished the sword for him. I thought they handled that terribly. I thought they really Jared Goff took such accountability and was such a stand-up guy, and they just threw him under the bus repeatedly. I thought that they handled that very poorly, and they've never really acknowledged that. And so that's part of his past. And again, McVay's got to win a championship.
Oh, good stuff, Bill. Thanks as always. We appreciate your time.
Thanks. This is great. See ya.
That's Bill Plaschke, LA Times columnist, Around the Horn contributor.